Hi, this is Sarah U. Argro, your host for Talking Real, Conversation for Today's Working Woman. And we will resume our conversation with Cheryl Branch of Safe Shelter. Well, I just wanted to read maybe a couple of the signs of domestic violence. And this is for those of you that are out here that are listening today. As far as having maybe the symptoms, it says the abuser acts excessively jealous and possessive. He controls where the woman goes or what she does. He keeps her from seeing her friends or her family, and a lot of times we are truly embarrassed when it comes to our family and our friends, and a lot of times we sit quietly and we do not say anything, a lot of times for fear of our lives or the lives of our families. And this is a very touchy subject for myself because I went through it where my marriage ended, where my husband tried to kill myself and 3 of my daughters. And so looking at that, we stayed a lot of times because he physically did do just that. You know, we had the police reports filed, but he still yet, when we ever tried to leave, he would drive to my mother's home and even, you know, in another city and what have you. So then in that instance, it comes to really, I guess, being bold enough to stay in contact with the police department, and most of all, keep yourself in prayer, because that's one thing that I did as well. I am truly an advocate for that. But when you look at women in our city, even women that I work with sometime on a business level, a lot of times you never know who's going through what. And I often tell women, if he hit you once, he's gonna hit you again. And you know, that's the sad part about the thing, is because we don't think, you know, oh, he loves me. You know, he loves me, but basically he's somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? He has control over your mind, so he's brainwashed you to think that that is
but
a love.
It is, it's brainwashing, because it might start out as something as simple as, I really don't like you to wear your skirts that short.
Yes.
You know your mama doesn't like me. She's never liked me. And in the different support groups that I've had in my job, there are women, let's face it, that like that bad boy, that fallen angel, that everybody abandoned, and we're going to love him and transform him through our love.
Yes, we're going to change him.
And exactly. And, you know, and these relationships are very, very dramatic. It's, you know, when it's bad, but when it's good, it's good.
Yes.
And that hooks people in, because after a beating, you know I love you, I'm just so crazy about you.
Yes.
And healthy jealousy is one thing. We're talking about obsession.
So then he's emotionally brainwashing and blackmailing you to the point where you're thinking, oh, what did I do to make him click?
What can I do to get it right? You know, and I don't know how many of my clients have talked about walking on eggshells.
Okay.
Last night I got beaten because I fixed iced tea for dinner and he wanted coffee. I fixed coffee tonight, and then he threw all the dinner dishes on the floor and said I wanted iced tea. And it's not the iced tea or the coffee.
No, it's not.
But it's about keeping you on your toes and changing the rules.
So if you would give us that number again. So
it's 629-8888. And if you don't need shelter, if you just want to talk to someone, we have an outreach program at 3025 Bull Street.
Okay.
And one of the victim advocates is bilingual. She's from Honduras, and English is her second language. And they can help you if you don't need shelter, but you need a temporary protective order, which is a superior court order, which will give you temporary custody of the kids. Order him out of the house. There are a lot of things that people aren't aware, and this isn't going to cost you anything. None of our services cost you anything.
Okay, so if they need to file the police report, then there is no charge?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
It's good to know.
Nothing. And you know, you can go talk to one of those advocates. And if you decided that you're not ready, they're not going to call you. They're not going to come by your house.
Okay.
It's got to be you wanting it.
Okay.
But if you do decide, not only will they do the protective order for you, they will go to court. They will line everything up. They will get you an attorney.
Okay.
And again, none of it's going to cost you anything, and it is totally confidential.
Okay. Okay. So then, ladies, if you're listening to this and this is something that you're going through, or if you have a coworker that you think that is going through domestic violence, or someone that you go to church with, or even just a friend, someone, you can anonymously call Cheryl's office at 629-8888, or call the community outreach which is the Safe Shelter Outreach. Cheryl, just one question I have
Oh,
left.
let me give that number real quick. For the outreach office, that's Rose Grant Robinson or Maria Hale, and they're at 651-0004.
Okay, and the beginning is the 912, of course.
Yes.
Relocation, that's the question I have. Let's say we have this man that is really harassing his wife or his girlfriend or what have you. Do you all relocate to maybe another city or another state if necessary?
We do, and we have over 40-something certified shelters in Georgia.
Okay.
And we've actually had people that she's in Atlanta or she's in South Carolina, whatever, abuser finds her, and can literally work her way down, by staying through shelters, because maybe her closest family is in Florida. So she can, we have that network and that availability to provide transportation and to get somebody until they're in a safe place.
Okay, so I do want to mention also that Safe Shelter is also a nonprofit organization, and as you know, it takes funds to keep this organization running, and we know that this is a very worthwhile organization. So even if you want to do a small donation, $5, whatever you can, we'd appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Cheryl, thank you so much for being on the show, and I want you ladies to know that we are really talking real, and this is definitely conversation for today's working women. I'm Sarah Lynn Argro. See you next time.